Can you hear me now? Yay! Okay, wonderful.
You have to start over.
I am going to have to start over. Good. Well, I was just giving you. That must have been funny to see the screen with the talking mouth. So, anyways, wanted to welcome everybody tonight to Iceberg Business Strategies. It's the 90% that you can't see. Tonight, I'm real excited to be introducing to you a dear friend, a mentor, a coach, also a financial and corporate advisor that I've worked with over the years. And not only tonight will we be sharing some great strategies for your business, whether you're just starting up, small, or even millions of dollars in revenue. This information is really key. Be certain to grab a pad and paper because he'll be going through a lot of stuff pretty quick. And then at the end, we're going to be opening up. I'll actually, in the chat room, be putting a link directly so that you, if you have a video camera and a mic, you'll be able to join us in the experience and ask questions, or you can also do that in the chat room. You should see on the right-hand side there's sidebar that says chat, polls, attendees, pop-ins and videos. If you just go to that chat, you'll be able to see. There you go. We got lots of people in there saying hi. So to get started. So let me just tell you a little bit about our special guest tonight. And I know we'll both be sharing, but I just want to introduce. He is an inventor and intellectual creator for many asset protection and wealth strategy patents. He's a financial engineer with expertise in evaluating complex macroeconomic legal issues and is developing complex tax strategies for clients. He is a frequent guest on a variety of talk and news shows. Nick Malice is also a keynote speaker and presenter for groups such as the Robert Allen Institute. Now, those of you that don't know him, he's the real estate guru. Robert Kiyosaki, author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, the Trump Organization, Russ Whitney, Tony Robbins, Laura Langemeier, to name a few, over 50 Fortune 500 companies, and numerous business conglomerates and colleagues from across the United States. Wealth Structures International is a 15-year-old national conglomerate comprised of legal, tax, financial, and business consulting professionals with hundreds of years of combined expertise. Wealth Strategies International acquires the very finest professional services, allowing the consumer to create wealth while protecting it at the same time. We believe the difference between the average consumer and the ultra-wealthy is education and action. Education and action. Wealth Structures International is our associates have spoken for some of the largest real estate gurus and wealth building organizations in the world and continue to be the advisors at the same. Their products and services are tailored to the needs of each individual, specific with their current situations and future goals in mind, and they take pride in making available things that are exclusive to the ultra-wealthy. So regardless of your, the ultimate information for making educated decisions regarding your financial future. So with that, I want to give a warm welcome to Nick Malice.
Hi, how are you doing? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you great. I'm really excited. Nick and I have been playing together over the last few years, and he approached me after having my baby, saying we got to do an event together. And I have to share with you, Nick has just been a huge asset in my business. And really excited about what he's going to be sharing. But just the two of us coming together, those of you that know me, when I do events, I tend to bring in some of the best. So, if you look at some of the past events I've done, I've worked with some great big names, brought them in, and had the blessing of impacting hundreds, if not thousands of lives. So when I say that Nick is one of the best, I definitely pay attention. So with that, Nick, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Well, I appreciate that, all the accolades and stuff. Look, guys, what I really want you guys to understand is we had a mission. We about 15 years ago, I was doing business and working inside of our firm, and I said, you know what, there is a really unfair playing field out here. If you're wealthy, and if you're born wealthy, or if you know somebody who's wealthy, then you get to benefit from all these wonderful products and programs and investments, and the wealth just keeps going on and on and on. But what about the average Joe? I mean, he never gets to learn about these things. He never gets to be able to access them. And we said, look, there's two ways to make money out there, right? You can either handle very few customers and charge them a lot of money, which we've done in the past, or you can handle a lot of customers and make everything affordable, accessible, and allow them to benefit from it and use it in their life. And we said, look, we like the latter. We're going to do that. We're going to be different. We're going to go in there and we're going to take these secrets that the ultra wealthy have benefited from the last 40 or 50 years, and we're going to bring them down to the average person, and we're going to make them affordable, and we're going to make them so that everybody can take advantage of them. And that's what we've done at Wealth Structures. That's what we've been able to accomplish. So I want to kind of talk about something interesting because, you know, something that's people do not understand out there is that what I'm going to teach you tonight and some of the topics that I'm going to talk about, you really never learn about in school. Shannon's talked about, I've had the privilege of working with some of the richest people in the world. I will help some sheik in Abu Dhabi, and I will help some guy that's starting up his little tech business out of his garage. In fact, those give me the most joy because they have the farthest to go, and you get to watch them crawl or run all the way up, and you get to help them go, and just the strides that they make are unbelievable. So you don't learn this stuff in school. There's two things that you never learn in school, okay? You never learn about structures. They never teach you how structures work. And for some reason, and I can't understand this, they never teach you how money works, which never ever made any sense to me. You can take all these financial classes and you can learn products, but they don't teach you how to invest. They don't teach you how money works. They don't teach you the do's and don'ts. And I guess part of that is kind of the life experience you learn when you get out there. So I've been able to learn from the very wealthy and then pass on the real true millionaire mindset. You know, you hear these stories about Warren Buffett making $1 billion and paying less taxes than his secretary. How the heck did he do that? Why is it one of the most visited sites on the YouTube is how the rich pay no tax? And it's not that they don't pay any tax. It's you know, they pay very little. Sometimes they get out of it, but most times, you know, you've got these people out there that are making a ton of money. Why are they paying less tax than the average Joe? The more money you make, the better CPAs you get, the better tax professionals you get, the better financial planners you get, the more money you put in your pocket and the less you put in Uncle Sam's, period. So that's what I want to talk to you a little bit about it. Now, what I've done, and you know, you can look at my head, or you know, we've got some slides to captivate you, and you can listen to me. But I got some slides together, and I was looking at these interesting pictures, and I thought, if I was just looking at this picture, what would it represent? And so I went through, and Shannon said, well, when we get done with this thing, we want to educate people so they walk away with something, and we make them think. So what I did is I wrote some points down so I could kind of stay on track, because I can go out there and babble with the best of them. So what I find that is a very special way for people to learn is to talk to them in what you call a did you know segment. So you ask a series of questions. Did you know, for example, certain things that are happening? For example, did you know in sole proprietors, many of you guys out there are sole proprietors. You get paid to your own self. Do you know that sole proprietors, first of all, it's the craziest thing to be. They're the highest tax bracket in the country. They have the least amount of deductions that are available to you guys. You guys file a Schedule C, which is the most likely schedule to get audited by the IRS. You hold all the liability personally. Anything you do in your personal life spills over into or your business life spills over into your personal, and vice versa. And now it's mandated. Whether you like it or not, we've got to pay the Obamacare. We've got to get the insurance. If you have a business, you can deduct it. If you don't, you can't. So other than that, guys, they're great. There's absolutely, if you're going to knit 10 skirts down in your basement or something and sell it to your friends and family, then by all means, don't get a company. But if you're really going to run a business and you're really going to have a business, then you need to run your business like a business, and you being a person not only has some of those disadvantages, but I'm going to go into some other things that are out there. So sole proprietors have something else they get to look forward to. You guys are 10 times more likely to get audited than an LLC. 10 times more likely to get audited. Now, what does an audit run you? Just to give you an idea, textbook boilerplate audit's going to run you about $15,000 to about $50,000. If you don't have it, you might want to invest in an entity because it decreases your chance. Okay. Not only that, audits alone are up 42% this year. So think about that. And if you are a network marketer or you are in certain various professions, your audit chance goes up even higher than that. So think about that when you think about what it is that your business that you're doing. You know, when I started this business, there was about 1,500 IRS.
Oops. Well, it looks like I lost him. So just one moment. Let me at least let him know that he has disappeared. And we'll be back in just a moment. So I know he's talking about some of the corporate structure side of things, and I'm also really excited to share with you some of the information about publicity and marketing. And did you know that there is thousands of dollars in free publicity with your name on it right now? You have access to this with knowing how to put it together and making it work. But anybody, did you know that anybody can get free publicity? You don't have to be a nonprofit. You don't have to be a charity. You can, anybody is able to. Yes, Ron, it was getting juicy. Anybody can get free publicity. Also, did you know that for your business, to have somebody speaking for you is a lot more powerful than you trying to speak for yourself. And so that's where it can make a huge difference in the growth of your business. Okay, he's signing back in right now. So that's some of the key things. And one of the other things that I found is that right now, every single one of you has a human interest story that is newsworthy. All of us have been through challenges or overcome obstacles, and these are great things. You've seen the movie Erin Brockovich or Seabiscuit. All of those stories the media loves. So taking time to share that story can be really powerful. And it's simple. It's simple to get free publicity when you know how. And imagine, I'm sure some of you actually, oh, he's calling me. Hey there. I'm not for certain. I just started jumping right in and talking about marketing stuff. So it's been a little bit. As soon as I text. Okay, great. I see you. Okay. Don't you love technology?
I think it's a conspiracy. The government found me teaching a whole bunch of people how to get out of paying ample amount of taxes and shut me off. It's a conspiracy. All right, so we're gonna fight. We're gonna fight the powers that be. I don't know where you lost me babbling. Where what was the last thing you guys heard?
Okay, so you were talking about if you're an entrepreneur, if you're an MLM. We just heard about the number of audits that they have, like 40% more audits every.
Fantastic. All right, let's get back here. So, now one of the things that I talk to people about is what they invest in, because people invest in things every day. Okay, so for example, people always tell me about this new iPad or new web device or something that they got. They'll talk about the macchiato that they get every day. They got to go get their liquid heroin in the morning every day at Starbucks, and they pay for that. They get Xbox games. They go on trips to Cabo. They get the new purse. They get the new, gadget or gadget. They'll invest in all these things all the time, but they won't invest in themselves, their business, or their family. And it makes no sense to me. Because for the cost of a pair of shoes out there, you can, or even a great night out on the town, you can incorporate yourself one time and benefit from it for the rest of your working life. Okay, so the question becomes then, what are you waiting for? Why are people waiting to set themselves up an entity? Now, if you're hearing this message and you don't have your own company, okay, one of the first things I always tell people is knock it off. The second thing I tell them is to start doing the right things right now. Okay, I don't care what anybody's done up to this point, but start doing the right things moving forward. So let's go back to talk about some unnecessary taxes that you pay as a sole proprietor, and then I'm going to get past this stuff. For example, sole proprietors pay unnecessarily self-employment tax. They pay self-employment tax 15.3%, money that you could be putting in your own pocket. So let me give you an idea how much that is. If you make $50,000 a year, you're putting $7,500 in Uncle Sam's pocket instead of yours. And the difference is just you simply choosing to work out of an entity and not as a solo person. So now let's talk about a couple things that are out there. Did you know that there's a 46-year-old program out there that was created by the IRS that legally allows you to buy just about any investment on the planet and never have to pay tax on it? So my question always becomes, why would you invest tax when you can invest tax-free? Why would you buy, for example, a piece of real estate only to hold on to it for 2 years to pay 20% in long-term capital gains when you can buy it today, sell it a day after it clears title, and never pay capital gains, and the IRS signs off and blesses the transaction? Why would you want to buy a stock and have to hold on to it for 2 years, or a mutual fund, or anything out there under the planet, just about, and hold on to it to pay 20% in tax when you can buy it and sell it whenever you want to and never pay capital gains? So there is a great program that's out there that allows you, whatever it is, the amount of money you make and however much you want to be able to put away into investments so that you can get the returns that come from those investments 100% tax-free. So let's talk a little bit about what's going on. There was some real interesting stuff today. One of the things that's always happened is when people look at investments is they've had this thing where people will watch what the Fed is doing in order to decide whether or not they want to market or when they want to buy or sell stocks in the market. Today was an interesting thing. What's happened is Google stock dropped, and because there has been a change in the marketplace that has been going but hasn't really reared its ugly little head, that says, hey guys, if you are a company and you are not growing your business and increasing your sales, then it should be reflective into your stock. Now, people always talk to me about this bubble, this perceived bubble that they believe that's going to hit the retirement markets, okay? Now, I will personally tell you that if you honestly think that the Dow should be at 16,000, you need to have your head examined. People are buying less goods and services today, and yet the stock market keeps going up. Consumer confidence is almost at an all-time low, and it's down 3% again. Now, people will say it's up, but it's down from average. It's up from its below average. So I love how they put this spin on the news that, well, spending has gone up. Yeah, it's 46% below where it should be. So when it goes up 3%, it's only 43%. below where it should be. But it's a nice little spin to make everybody feel all energetic. Now, it's amazing that people have felt this bubble in the stock market, and they feel like this other shoe's going to drop, but they don't know what to do. They kind of have this analysis paralysis effect, and they do nothing. So I want to talk about some things that are going that are going to come down the pipeline, and some of the things that billionaires are doing right now that maybe you should look at what they're doing and decide to do the same thing. Let's talk about taxes for a minute. You know, we're probably at the lowest tax rate in the world, in the world that will probably ever see us for probably the next decade. And let's talk about what we've done. The USA has written checks its rear end simply cannot cash, right? We're paying our debts. Can you believe this? We're paying our debts with debt instruments. We're paying debt using debt. We can't pay our credit card, so we got issued another credit card, and we're using that credit card to pay the other credit card. Now, it's making us go further and further into debt. So someone has to pay for this, right? So the question becomes, who and how do we pay it? And the answer is simple. It's you and now. That's who's going to pay it. If you guys don't do things proactively to help your business, you will be the one without a chair when the music stops. Okay? That's simply what's going to happen. Those that do not create what the wealthy have been able to figure out, which is to create non-taxable events, you guys will end up covering the brunt of the expense to bail our country out of purchasing things and paying for things that we had no business paying for them at a time when we couldn't afford them. So let's talk about this debt, because it's very important, guys. Let's give an idea. Let's put kind of a face around this debt. So how big is it? Well, you can tax everyone in the country 100% of what they make and never cover the interest on our national debt. I want you to think about that. You could tax every single corporation, everything that you purchase out there. Those corporations can get taxed 100% of their earnings and not even pay down our country's debt. To give you an idea how much debt that is, you could have paid $1 million since the days of the time of Jesus every day towards the national debt, and it wouldn't even pay down our debt today, guys. That is so phenomenal. Now, let's talk a little bit about what took place out there. Everybody's familiar about what happened in 9/11. Okay, we need to look at things that happened in 9/11 to give us an idea of what's going on in the markets. First thing I want to talk to you about is probably the most major problem that businesses face every day. Do you have any idea, for you guys listening out there, what happens if you commingle funds? And most people, that is the dirty, nasty C word, okay, commingle. And I want you guys to understand what that is. That means if you use business money to pay for personal expenses, or you use personal money to pay for business expenses, and until I got a hold of Shannon and jerked her chain, okay, this is something everybody does, okay? The first thing that this allows for anyone suing you in any state to do is to state that you're not running your business like a business, that this is simply your alter ego, guys, and therefore you have no protections under the law. And this will allow anybody in the court of law to pierce what they call the corporate veil. That means they will get through your corporation, your company, and attach to you personally. So forget all those sole proprietors that I talked about. You guys don't have a chance. For you guys that have your entity and you guys choose not to run your business like a business, people come after you, all right, and they attach to you. They'll be able to attach to any or all of your assets personally. But that's not the worst thing. The worst thing that happens is this. For you guys out there that have a company and you don't run your business like a business, what's going to happen is when the IRS gets a hold of your entity, they're going to disallow your deductions. Because they're going to say, hey, these deductions you took, they were for a business. But you chose not to run your business like a business. So therefore, what we're going to do is we're going to take all your deductions up to the last 7 years. We're going to slap on a Schedule C. We're going to apply interest and penalties. And now you're going to have a 6-figure tax lien. And by the way, you will pay it. You cannot bankrupt yourself out of an IRS obligation. The number one thing that the IRS is looking for today is whether or not you commingle so they can disallow those deductions and be able to get paid that money because they need it. Now, here's another interesting statistic. Did you know the Secretary of the Interior states, so this is from the Secretary of the Interior, they state 80% of all entities, whether or not you set them up yourself or somebody else set them up, if they were sued or faced an IRS audit, they would not cut the mustard. The reason being, most entities are created by what I call a mill. They're a chop shop. They're a templated company. You hear them out there. You see these advertisements. You're going to pay this little bit of money, and you're going to go on there, and you're going to get this templated piece of garbage. Okay? You cannot survive scrutiny with a template operating agreement. Guys, your operating agreement, your bylaws need to be built specifically for your business and for your industry. That's what cuts the mustard. When you're standing before the man or you're being sued, that's where the rubber hits the road, that you need to be able to have this thing to deflect off these lawsuits and not allow people to attach to you personally. If you have this templated piece of garbage, it's not going to do anything, okay? You will not get out of this thing. This is not something that you can just get away from. So if you have commingled, there's a couple things that you can do. One, we can do what we call corporate scrub. You can go back and you can fix the stuff. We can operate on you, okay, and fix you. The other thing is to keep you compliant as you move forward. You guys all have major things that you guys do. You guys go to seminars. You guys go to events. You guys go to conventions. You go on business trips. You get continuing education, you get life insurance, health insurance, change your brand, move offices, all these hire, fire people. These kind of things need to be a part of your recordings, guys. A company, 2 pieces of paper and a tax ID doesn't make you a company. People think, well, I filed my articles, I've got my initial list of officers, and I've got a tax ID, I'm a company. Guys, 2 pieces of paper does not make you a company. Think about it. You're no different than McDonald's or any of these other companies out there. Do you honestly think McDonald's is 2 pieces of paper? The same laws that they have to abide by, you have to abide by. And a lot of people don't talk about these things because the next time you're talking about them, you're in court or before the IRS and you're in trouble. You know, my pop always said you never have a problem until you have a problem, and then you have a problem. You know, we don't think about these things, and then there are these, oh my goodness points come in your life, and then you have some serious problems. So it's important that you keep up on your compliance. Your governances need to be done. Most people we find, guys, think about this. You've got this corporate book that's sitting up on your shelf like behind Shannon right there, and they gave you this corporate book, and in the back they've got these certificates and these stock certificates and these membership certificates, and they're blank. They've never been issued out. Well, that's funny because if you own the company, you should have ownership of your stock. How do I know that I own Microsoft? I'm sitting there holding Microsoft shares, or they're sitting in an account. How do you know that you own ABC company? Because they've been issued to you. And most people don't know how do they get issued to you, and how do you do it right. And you don't want to hold title to things personally, but you want to have ownership. You want to have control of them and not own them. So how do you do that? It's very important that you understand that this is very important, and these are the things that people look at when they're going after you. So did you know, guys, assets that aren't located in entities, many of you guys listening out there have an extra boat or a car or a home or stocks or bonds or mutual funds or portfolio or retirement accounts or whatever. If you don't hold them inside of companies, guys, they can be attached to you. Lawsuits, liens, judgments, garnishments. If you have residual income, for some of you guys out there, you might have a network marketing company or some little MLM that you work with or whatever. Do you know that this is one of the key things that somebody that is suing you is looking for? The one thing they love is insurance. The second thing they love is equity in a home. Another thing that they love is residual business. Hey, Your Honor, we know we're going to get paid. They're making $30,000 a year from Amway or Herbalife or whatever it is out there. Guys, if you have residual income and you die, it dies with you. If you have an entity, it survives you and gets passed on to your heirs. Don't you think if you build up these businesses, or if you have other businesses out there that you're working in or agreements, that you want to make sure that they go on to your loved ones, so it doesn't end up in some stranger upline's account or to somebody that God knows you don't even know who they are. So it's important. So let's talk a little bit about baby boomers for a little bit. We talked about that slightly. Guys, if you're listening to me and you were born between 1946 and 1964, God bless your soul, you're probably retired. They're retiring at $10,000 a day right now, okay? Most people don't understand how much money do you need to retire. The problem is most people are going to outlive their retirement. If you are, look at this, guys. I got this article. Can everybody see that? USA Today, you know, they're getting ready to do a headline page. Baby boomers need $1 million to retire. If you're born between 1946 and 64 and you don't have $1 million, you can't sustain your way of life that you just have right now. So I'm going to ask you guys another $1 million question. Who's going to wipe your tushy? Who's going to be out there changing your diapers and making sure that you have the things that you need when you can't take care of yourself anymore? Because if you don't save money and you don't put enough money away, guys, you're going to be a product of the state. They're going to stick you in these god-awful homes. They shouldn't even be called homes. They should be called outhouses. And somebody else is going to decide how you live out the rest of your days. And guys, if you are an X generation, you need $4.6 million if you're listening to me. If you're a millennial, you need $8 million. Now, it's not 8 times the $1 million that baby boomers need. With the time value of money, that $8 million equals the same $1 million that a baby boomer needs. So you've got to have this money. How are you going to be able to retire the older you are, making 10% in a retirement account? Guys, there's a reason why prospectuses only are allowed to show 10.3% in their prospectuses of these mutual fund and stock companies, because the stock market's only averaged 10.3% for the last 70 years. They're only allowed to show that. Now, a lot of you guys are wanting to run your business. You want to expand your business. I'm going to teach you guys something here right now. A lot of people have retirement accounts. They have 401ks. They have IRAs. They say, I can't access it. Yes, you can, and we can show you how. Now, let's say you're starting your own business. Let's say you have your own business, okay? And you had a retirement account in another company that you left, or you have a retirement account that you started up, but you think you can't access it to your 59 and a half years old out there. I'm going to tell you, you're wrong. Do you know that you can pull that money out and you can put it into a plan that you direct, and you can utilize those funds to grow your business, pay campaigns, expand your business, cover expenses, things of that nature? You can do that. Do you know that you can use the money and you don't have a penalty? You know, I ask people all the time, why do you invest in Microsoft? Why do you invest in Facebook? That's what I got to say now. Why do you invest in Google? Why do you invest in these things? Why would you invest your money in a stranger that you don't know from a can of spray paint, and you wouldn't invest in your own business? Utilize that capital to grow your own business. The two lifelines of the bloodlines, the lifeline of any business. Let's just pretend I'm at a doctor's office and I've got two bloodlines going to either arm. One is leads. Okay, guys, one is leads, the other is capital. Leads and capital. If you have those two things, you will always be able to make money. If you have enough leads, you'll always have money coming in. If you have capital, you can spend it to be able to get yourself enough leads, convert them into sales. So we're going to talk about a couple of those things. So let's go back and talk about the retirement account. So people say, all right, Nick, I get it. So I've got $150,000 in a retirement account. It's only going to pay me 10% a year. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to retire in the next 20 or 30 years. So what do I do with it? Well, I would tell you to do what the billionaires are doing. There was an article here just last month. Warren Buffett, 11 other billionaires, sold 42% of their portfolio. Why? Because they, per Warren Buffett, say we see a dramatic change in the climate that surrounds equities. What does that mean, guys? That means run, don't walk, and do the same thing. There's a reason why they're wealthy. There's also a reason why they're shorting the stock market. Let's talk about why. Guys, remember 9/11, right? That was a tragic moment. 9/12. There's really two things. The day after 9/11, there's really two things that you couldn't do, right? You couldn't get on an airplane and you couldn't trade stocks. Other than that, you could get gas, right? Buy groceries. You go to the movies, just about anything that you please. But you couldn't get on an airplane and you couldn't trade stocks. Now, nothing truly happened in the U.S., right? You had running water. You were able to get food, okay? There wasn't this mass hysteria going on. So nothing really happened to the infrastructure of the United States, okay? You can still get food. Business went on, you know, but the perception was something really bad happened. And this was from a surprise attack. So just the perception of what happened to the U.S. caused the stock market at that time to drop from 12,000 to 9,000 points. When that took place, guys, people lost 40 to 50% of their retirement account. Now, knowing this, that was a surprise, okay? That was a surprise. Now, knowing this, with the debt that we've created in this country, it's not a surprise, okay? What you saw, based on what you saw that happened with the surprise to the Dow, where people lost half of their money in their retirement account, what do you think is going to happen when we simply can't pay our bills anymore? When the Fed has actually got to a point in June where they can no longer produce money and offer and receive a rate of return. That means if they print more money, it automatically devalues the dollar. And if they don't print more money, there's going to be a freakout session. What do you think when baby boomers who are predominantly invested in retirement accounts, in mutual funds and stocks, 401ks, IRAs, SEPs, SARSEP, Simples, you name it, what do you think is going to happen when there's a freakout and they're retired? What do you think they're going to do? They're going to run and they're going to pull their money out of their accounts. What do you think that's going to happen to the stock market? Boom. And it's going to drop. It's going to like a tree that's been cut, and nobody wants to be in the way of that, guys. So that is going to take place. I also see this little ray of hope that's going on in the stock market, that it's going up, and we believe in equities. Guys, the sun always shines brighter before the storm, okay? There's a reason, if there was money to be made, billionaires would not be running out of the stock market. So if you have a retirement account and you respect the fact that you worked hard to sacrifice to put money away, it just might be a good idea to go get that money and pull it out, and not only not let some broker direct it, but you direct it. Do you guys also know, I'll tell you a little tip that you can take to the bank. You know, brokerage, there's a brokerage tax through Obamacare that was passed on, that's getting passed on to consumers. There's also a 3.8% tax to individuals. Now, this is a tax. It will not show up on your statements because it's a tax. It's not a fee, it's a tax. If you make 10% in the market, that's 9.6% in costs. You could literally go out there and make 10% in the stock market and make 0.04% on your retirement account. Plus then have to pay your capital gains or other taxes. Guys, this makes 0 sense to you out there, okay? So it's very important. Now, if you have a retirement account, the best way to control it, the liquidity and safety of it, guys, is for you to take possession of it. Most people don't understand that they can. You can. So in today's world economy and markets, guys, what I'm trying to say to you out there is you can't afford to be passive and uneducated to what's going on out there. On the contrary, you've got to be well-informed, and you've got to be proactive in making decisions to control not only your financial life but your business future. So what we've done is we've created these formats, these forums, where we can educate people on some of these major tips, not just talk about the problem, but we give the solutions, not only to the best things that are going out there for marketing, but the best ways to save money, investments that the average Joe will never ever see are made available to them. Things that they can do, like, guys, did you know, if you're listening to my voice and you can find your way to get to this forum, when we went and paid the banks back, or when the banks went and paid us back, I guess you should say, they paid back, what, $796 billion. They paid it back in a year and a half. They reallocated the money, and $289 billion of that money was stuck for business credit, for business financing. But in the great wisdom of the government, they decided not to park the money in the consumer banks, because I know you guys will all say, look, I've gone to try to get a loan. I can get a loan on any day that doesn't end in Y. The reason is they haven't been given the money. The money is sitting on the commercial side. So why can't people access it? because most businesses out there do not have a business profile that is worthy of being lent to. And what we're able to do, and what we'll show you how to do, is how can you access this capital. Not only can you get a minimum of $50,000, guys, but the rates are 0% to 0.9% for up to 18 months. And, guys, you can do this whether you're an international person, which drives me crazy that you can do that, or whether you're domestic here. And there's a lot of international people that are setting up entities here just to establish and obtain the credit so that they can grow their business. And I say, golly, why are they coming in here and taking our money that we can use to grow our business in our own backyard? So, guys, some of the investment opportunities, like I talked about, that the average Joe never gets a chance to take advantage of them, they're going to be made available to you. We're going to make sure that everyone gets a level playing field. That's what we've done for the last 15 years. Some of the finest programs, they're going to be made available to you. They're going to be affordable to you. So you can secure your financial future. You can grow your business. You can protect your family's interests. And you can have the freedom to do what we all want to do, which is what we want to do. Guys, isn't that nice? I mean, we work, my dad always said, guys that get paid a lot of money to do what they love, they're called professional athletes. Now, some of you guys are fortunate that you wake up every day and you love what you do and you make a lot of money to do it. God bless you. There's some of you guys out there that are listening that say, I don't really like this business I'm doing, but I'm good at it, and it allows me to get paid so I can do what I love. I love to travel, or I love to buy expensive things, or I love to go to expensive restaurants, whatever it is. We do what we need to do so we can do what we want to do, okay? And so what we teach you are all these incredible things and much more that you can learn. And guys, they're bullets that you can put in the gun. They allow you to do a lot of damage. It's the stuff that you learn, you won't learn anywhere that's out there. And the reason being is I really don't think that there's a real want for people to have people be educated, that they don't create these forums to allow people to be educated, and I think that's a real downer. But some of the best programs that are out there will be made available to you. They will be accessible. Everybody will be able to afford them, which is fantastic. You can go and learn, and you can really receive the blessings that will all be yours by being proactive. But guys, you got to make a decision today that you're going to take control of your destiny and your legacy. What is your legacy? What is it going to be? So what I would like to put a request out there is that you come and join. We have a wonderful collaborating enterprise. You're going to learn to obtain the tools that you need to succeed. You're going to be able to access things that have otherwise probably been out of your reach. But we want you to join our team. You guys all bring individual talents and abilities, and we love that. We create a great enterprise. You'll have access to the people that speak and teach one-on-one. You'll have bonus classes. There's continuing education. It's a lot of great things. And guys, this thing has really grown and developed, and we're really happy with what it's turned into. And I know Shannon's going to talk a little bit. I'm not a details guy, so Shannon's going to talk about the details of the event, and if she wants me to babble some more, I can.
Great. Well, I definitely want to let people know that we're going to open it up for a few Q&A. We've got a little bit of time, but yes, this the end of May 30th, 31st, and June 1st, we are having the Ultimate Small Business Acceleration Summit. And I'm so excited because it is such a unique experience what's been created. Friday night we do a cocktail party. We have a high-performance networking experience. Our goal is that by the time you get into the conference on Saturday, you've built your team, that you know almost everybody that's attending, and you're all working together to help support each other in growing your business. Then on Saturday we have the king of internet traffic. We have a YouTube queen. We have obviously Nick. We've got a lot of remarkable presenters and experts that will be there supporting you. Then on Sunday, and this is what I'm so excited about, and I think is very unique, is you're able to schedule on Saturday time with each of the speakers. And this is time to talk about your project, you, individuals. Some of these people are $500 to $1,000 just to consult with them, and you'll have that opportunity to do that on Sunday. So for me, just Sunday, which is a bonus day, is the worth it. Worth it just in itself. So we actually have a few different options, and Nick, please interject if I'm forgetting anything. Is there anything you wanted to add?
No, I just, some of the things that you're going to learn is, first of all, we go out there and get the cream of the crop for educators. What's funny is I always hear this term gurus, and I've been in a room with 5 people, and I've been in a room with 55,000 people, and I can tell you this, the gurus, it's kind of funny, but the one thing that I'm very particular with is I have a BS-ometer. And, you keep hearing about these hope and change and going up the hill and all this thing, and, what you think of, what your opinion of me is none of my business, and all these sayings and stuff like that. People write books, and it's so thick you can't even cut it with a knife, okay? What people don't understand is people have some of the best ideas and programs out there. And they go to these guys and they say, look, you put 50,000 people in the seat. I want to get my product or service out to 50,000 people. So they go and they bring it to these gurus, and the next thing, you think they're the greatest thing in sliced bread, and you know what? They didn't think about them. But we've toured with them. And so what we've done is we've said, hey, look, since my BS-ometer is way up there, let's go ahead and let's not, if you want to be pitched, guys, don't come. This is not a pitch fest. This is a workshop. You're coming to learn and to grow. Okay? So if you expect to be sold products, that's not what we're doing. If you want to be able to learn how to grow your business and develop in the latest strategies that are out there, I've got one gentleman that's coming that is a star internet marketer. If you want to learn how to drive traffic to your business and get it to where you learn how to do it on your own, he's teaching. He's a rock star. What he did was he folded a business that he's been working on for years, went out there and said, look, I can do it again, give me a month. He now has 30,000 additional people, 32,000, didn't mean to rob you, in his business. In 40 days, guys, he's able to do this. These are people that have signed up to be and join in his business and do what he does, because he knows how to drive traffic to it, and he's going to teach you how you don't have to keep going to people to pay to do that, but you can do it on your own. I've got a guy that's going to show you how to be your own bank. Wouldn't it be nice if you could never have to borrow money from a lending institution ever again? You look at the big buildings downtown. What are they? Financial services company and insurance company. Wouldn't it be great if you could be like them, if you could be your own bank? Guys, he's going to be there to be able to explain it. If you want to learn how to, people don't understand that a video will SEO optimize better than keywords any day. Or videos with keywords will outpopulate in a Google search or your search engines any kind of just direct word search ever when somebody's looking for it on the internet. You're going to be able to learn how to do that and how you can make small videos on your business. You're going to learn how to get press, right, Shannon? You're going to learn how to be able to get free stuff. Guys, people say there's no such thing as bad press, but good press, free press is great. And I'm going to tell you right now. So there is such a thing as bad press, but I'm going to tell you, free press is awesome. And you're going to be able to learn that. You're going to learn how to reduce your tax liability by 15 to 50%, how to invest and never pay capital gains. You're going to learn investments of the ultra-wealthy. You're going to have access to investments of the ultra-wealthy. With ridiculous rates of return, you're going to be like, oh my goodness, no wonder why the rich keep getting wealthy. You're going to learn how to run your business like a business. You're going to learn so you don't have to keep looking over your shoulder when you run your business and get that knock on your door because somebody's auditing you or have to worry about somebody coming and suing you. There's changes in regulations. There's changes in Obamacare. What are they? If I'm going to have to pay all these new taxes, what are other deductions I can take to offset them so that I can pay the same amount of tax or even less next year than I did today, even though my tax liability has gone up? You're going to learn how to do so many more things, how to gain capital, how to obtain capital, how to be able to access that on your own, how to be able to keep continuing to get capital so long as you need it for your business without having to go to anybody, which is awesome. We're going to give you the things. You're going to actually get them. So again, if you want to be pitched, please don't come. The event costs money, guys. You're going to spend the money anyways. You're going to buy your purses and your macchiatos and all this stuff. People have spent, we got together for a group that we just did, that we did the event for far more than what's being offered, because Shannon, I felt sorry for her because she had a baby. So she said, hey, can you bring this crew over for us? I will get people there. And I thought, geez, we just did an event where people paid way more than that to come, plus came from the four corners of the earth, bought their own ticket, had their own kids taken care of, left their work, some of them, came over, did their own accommodations, paid for their own travel, spent thousands of dollars to spend with us, and you want to go do this for a fraction of the price? Okay, we'll do it one time. We'll do it for you in your own backyard. You guys don't even have to travel, most of you. You come to your own backyard and you're able to go attend this amazing event, and I'm going to tell you, it is going to put more money in your pocket and change the way you do business. Guarantee. I will guarantee that for you guys. I've never had anybody go to one of these events where we've pulled this talent of speakers and say, golly, you know what? I didn't learn a doggone thing, and it really didn't benefit me. What they ask us is, when are you going to do the next event? and where is it? So, guys, you're going to want to jump on this thing. It benefits you. We're doing it for you. There's obviously an associated cost with running these things, and so we've got to be able to charge you something to be able to do it. But we're looking forward. We're really excited, and you've got some great people that are coming there that are just going to blow your socks off, so bring a second pair.
Great. So you can actually go into the pop-ins in the sidebar. You'll see pop-ins. We have a couple of options. You can pay up front, and right now we're doing a 7-day special where it's $100 off for the $495. That's with the $100 off. Or you can just do a $200 deposit and then pay the balance next month. So we try to make it real easy for everybody to join us and get involved. Again, you just click on the pop-ins. Right now I'm just showing the deposit for the single admission. We also have the couples, Nick. I know I just talked to you this morning, and I was so grateful that you even offered a better deal for husband and wives, because you really are a big advocate of husbands and wives. And just to let everybody know, Nick, I did put the link up if anybody wanted to click on that and be able to join us for questions, or we can answer a few if they type them in the room. But do you want to share about the couples?
Yeah, if they have questions, yeah, we'd love to answer. But you know, I'm a big believer in couples because, listen, that's your partner, and when you learn these things, you know, have you ever gone to these wonderful events and you're like, almost, you couldn't afford to pay for your spouse to go, so one of you went, and you know, you only get 10% of what you learn, you know, they say, and then you go back and you try to tell your spouse how pumped up and all the information, but you can't remember a whole lot of stuff. Guys, you're going to be able to have your spouse there, so you'll have 20% of what you learned. No, I'm just kidding. You will have your spouse there, so you have a common bond, a common mindset of, you know, this is what we're doing, and you guys are all on the same page, and you're making decisions together. And I just think that is very, very important that you do that. So yeah, we love couples to come. We've made it affordable for couples to come, so it's important. You know, guys, I'm going to tell you one of the things that I'm going to do. Gone out there and put together a CD, a book on CD. Guys, it has 40,000 deductions in it. It has all the deductions that you can take for all the different industries, what the tax codes are, case law, Supreme Court decisions, everything that's a part of them. Plus, Not only that, you can hand that off for all of you that were crazy enough to file your taxes on the 15th and not file an extension, which actually lowers your chances of being audited out there. But for those of you that filed or now need to refile so that you can refile your taxes to adjust them based on things that you learn, you guys will have all the stuff, all the information that you need, that you can even give that CD to your tax professional in your own backyard. And not only do they have to, can they take the additional deductions, but they will also have the codes and everything that goes along with it to be able to send as an addendum with your filing, so that you lower your chances of dealing with an audit. And it really does. It is successful, guys, when you can show what deductions you took and show why it is that you're able to take them or the codes that correlated with them. They don't want to deal with people that have their head screwed on right. They want to sniff out the money from people that are look like they're trying to get away with something. So that's very, very important, guys. And that's going to be a giveaway. That's just something that I'm giving away, and everybody else is giving away books and prizes and discounts and products and services and coaching and learning and all this stuff. So you're going to get a whole tremendous amount of stuff. My program alone, I sell for a couple $1,000s. We're going to give it away. So that's thanks Shannon. She's a better salesman. She looks innocent, guys, but she's not. Trust me.
No, that's one of the things I love is that you, I mean, every speaker is giving you awesome stuff. It also includes lunch and the cocktail hour. You know, Nick, you definitely do.
Yeah, you guys get to come
first class.
Yeah, you guys get to come Friday, have some drinks on us. You know, you come in from the long hour drive or whatever it is, or the 4 or 5 hour flight. You get to relax. You're going to get to sit and talk with the speakers. We got drinks provided for you. You've got appetizers. You go to sleep, wake up the next day. We've got all-day training, workshop, boom, 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 10 to 7. You learn. You take notes. We'll have a question and answer for them. We'll meet together afterwards if you want to answer questions. Then what we're going to do is you're going to be able to sign up for speakers for times. You can go. We're covering the nickel, guys. We're spending on our dime so that the speakers give up you Sunday from 8 to 8, where you're going to be able to put yourself down to meet with speakers at various times. You can speak with all of them, one of them, none of them, but it's on our nickel. We're paying, so you have access to them. Ask them whatever you want. Get help. Bring a friend. You know, bring your spouse. Whatever. You know, you'll be able to meet with these people and get one-on-one attention, which is, I think it's one of the best parts about the event, is to be able to get special personalized attention.
Great. Yes, so it's at the Sofitel in Miami, Florida, and we do have a block of rooms, not a very large block, but a block of rooms for only $109 a night, so we've done a great deal of working that out. And again, if you're interested, if you just click on the pop-ins, you can see to be able to click right now and take advantage of that. Or if there's something that you're interested in that's not up there, let me know and I can add that. I know that we had a question, Nick, about the 49-year. Oh, I'm not remembering.
46-year-old.
Yes.
What was the question, though?
Just what was that? They didn't catch what you were saying about it.
Okay, so there's a 46-year-old program that is signed off, was created by the IRS, that allows individuals out there to buy and sell stocks, bonds, mutual funds, real estate, just about any investment on the planet, buy it and sell it and never pay capital gains, which is really, really huge. So that's a big program out there, and we're going to explain it. We're going to show it in detail. We're going to show how it works. So it's also a program where, like Buffett said, I made $1 billion and paid less tax than my secretary. How did he do it? I'm going to show you the program that he used for it. So it's a similar type program, but it's fantastic. So good question. What else?
Great. I'm not seeing any other questions other than some logistics. I know we're going to be doing a few other webinars as we get closer to the event. I wanted to give my email or phone number if anybody had any questions or help with registration, it's info, and I'll go ahead and put it here in the chat box, info@businessaccelerationsummit.com, info, I-N-F-O, at businessacceleration.com, or you can give me a call at 321-549-2128, 321-549-2128. So hopefully we can...
Yeah, another thing is that you guys can fly into the Miami hotel. It's a quick shuttle over. You can shuttle from the airport there if you guys are flying in, which is great. And so, yeah, you come, you know, food's provided, your food and drinks and everything is provided that we do for the event and the pre-party. Come on us, learn. The materials alone that you're going to take with it are more than worth it. But guys, I talk to people all the time. You're going to spend the money anyways. You're going to spend it on some cockamamie stupid thing out there that will do nothing for you. This is a chance that you can spend the money to really do something for your business. And I'm going to tell you, this is not going to be these rah BS, look at my check, you know, let's go up the mountain together. Let's walk on. No, I'm just kidding. I was going to do that for you, but walk on fire rocks or whatever. No, it's not going to be any of that stuff, though. Not that that doesn't have a place, but that's not what this is. This is an event to learn. It's a workshop, guys. So it's not a seminar. It's a workshop. So bring a bunch of pens. We're going to provide you with materials. Bring your pens. Bring questions. Come ready to work. You are coming to learn. So it's going to be a wonderful event, and I would highly suggest, guys, that you be proactive and do something proactive for your business and for yourself. There's a lot of hiccups, guys, that are coming down the road. There's a lot of things that people aren't talking about that we are going to address. You know, I go to events, and I speak with them all around the world, and I can tell you this. I go to an event with one thing in mind. I want to pull one idea, just one idea. If I go to an event and I get one thing that can save me or make me money, or something that's going to change my business or impact the way I do things, one thing, just one, then it's worth it. And I just came back from an event that I didn't speak at, but I attend, and I found that one thing, and guys, I love it. That's why I go. I don't need it. You know, maybe everything's not for you. Maybe it's just a couple things, but you get that one thing, it will totally transform and turn around your business. So that's what I challenge you guys, is to come out there and find that one thing and learn a bunch of things that you're going to be able to benefit from the rest of your life from.
Absolutely. So I know we're at the top of the hour. We did have one question that it looks like, and then I think we'll say good night because we're a little bit over. But somebody's here going, I'm totally screwed up. I'm commingling, have a LLC, filing on a Schedule C. What should I do right now starting tomorrow?
Well, my simple answer would be get to the event. But I would say call Shannon and I'll talk to you. But yeah, you're going to have to learn some behaviors that we're going to talk about. So it's going to be an education process. But can it be fixed? Absolutely. If you're filing an LLC, if you have an LLC and you're filing a Schedule C, you and I can go beat up your CPA together. So because that makes absolutely no sense. But what I would tell you to do is get a hold of Shannon, and then I'll talk to you personally, and anybody else that wants to, and we can see about what we can do for you. I know how to help you. It's just going to be a little bit of a process, but yes, there is hope for you. You know, so you know, we'll get you there. So as long as you guys are willing to learn, and as long as you're malleable and willing to listen, guys. It's open to you. I mean, you really will benefit from it. But yeah, we'll get you there. So don't worry.
And you're not alone, because everybody. Nick was, thank goodness, whipped me into shape on a few different things.
It's very rare that I will see something that I don't know how to do, or something I haven't seen a million times before. But I can tell you, And I'll tell you what's crazy about who screwed up the most is I will see these gazillionaires that have nothing in place. I mean, people think that you see these guys on TV and you see these people acting in movies who some of these guys I have as clients and they make a gazillion dollars and everybody knows their name and you think, oh, well, they're so-and-so, they've got to have all these things done. And you know what? They've got nothing done. They've got nothing done because they've got all these leeches trying to pull from them and trying to see what they can get from them and make money from them or make money from being associated with them, that they've never sat down and done anything to benefit from them. So, guys, I'm going to tell you, 80%, the Secretary of the Interior says 80% of you guys listening to this have an entity that is set up wrong and you're not working in it and you're not being compliant and it wouldn't cut the mustard to a lawsuit or an IRS audit. So I'm going to tell you, 8 out of every 10 people that's on this, watching this tonight, ought to have their rear end at that event because it will turn things around for you. Because, listen, guys, decisions are made every day. Either you will make a decision or somebody will make it for you. And your decision to be indecisive will be your downfall. Because I'm going to tell you right now, when you're sued, okay, and CPA, people will say, well, I have a CPA. Guys, CPAs don't get paid to find deductions. That's what we do. CPAs are bean counters. What do? We give you more beans to count. That's the difference. When CPAs tell you you don't make enough money, you don't need an entity, okay, ask them if they're going to pay the difference in taxes that you would otherwise save being one. If your attorney says, hey, you know what, it's too complicated, you working in all these structures, ask them how complicated it's going to be when you get sued. Okay? If these people aren't willing to hit the floor with you to defend your structures and defend what they do, if they're not going to be paying your bills and your money, then guys, there's no sense listening to them. Okay? There's no sense listening to them. Because when it comes down and the rubber hits the road, are they willing to put their money where their mouth is? And you guys, there's a reason why we've trained thousands of CPAs and tax professionals a year, and that's because you do not learn this stuff in school, guys. You do not learn it anywhere in school. Okay? You might learn the what, but you don't learn the way. And that's very important. So you're going to learn a lot of things. So those of you guys out there that go, well, I'm going to talk to my CPA about it. Ask yourself a question. If he knew about it and didn't teach you, with friends like that, who needs enemies? And if he didn't know how to do it, then why would you go back to him? It doesn't make any sense. People give me that crazy talk all the time. So, guys, do the right thing by yourself. You're the ones that, at the end of the day, you don't want to be the one without a chair when the music stops. So it's up to you to take control of your life. But this is just one segment that we're going to talk about. There's a half a dozen others, and, guys, it's going to blow your mind. So the best thing I can tell you to do, get a ticket. We're going to mass market it. There's only a certain amount of seats, and we're only keeping it for a certain amount of time so that we can make the preparations for the food in the rooms and such. So if you're going to dawdle about getting a ticket, don't cry if you can't go and you can't get one. Go get it now. Make your preparations and get yourself there.
Great. So thank you so much, Nick. And I had somebody put in here, Nick is so funny. I said, yes. He can be very, very serious, doesn't sugarcoat things, but oh my goodness, does he know the taxes, the laws, and is really, he's got the information. Nick, I just have to say one thing happened to me a while ago when I was in real estate. It was about 8 years ago. I worked with an expert who shared with me some information on how to save money as a realtor and an investor at the same time. It was remarkable. I built my business that way. And set it up, but then when I went to other CPAs afterwards, after I transitioned and worked with the CPA, none of them were familiar with this tax bill, and he actually showed it to me on the IRS website, and I could not find it after that because the laws, as you know, were so much, and it was like vital for my financial situation, this information that he had. So I made a huge mistake by not being educated and really retaining that. I saw it and I said, oh, I'm going to go ahead and do this without really working with an expert too. So,
it happens all the time, and it's unfortunate, but the people that we think are in the position to guide us aren't those that are in those aren't the professions that we want to go to get advice from. So, I mean, that's very important. And for the lady that said I was funny, my mom told me that all the time. She told me, she said, remember when you go on stage to be funny, and then reminded me that looks aren't everything. So I didn't know, you know. But I enjoyed being here. This is great. I don't get to do this all the time. So normally I've got a bunch of like people sitting in a room and it looks like deer in the headlights and I say some stuff, and you know, it's kind of funny for me because I can always tell who in the audience hasn't done something, because they'll go from scratching their hair or looking at their phone or writing a little note, and then they're looking at me with these two beady eyes going, oh my goodness, that's me. So yeah, I don't get to see anybody but your lovely face, but yeah, I see it all the time. And at the end of the day, guys, don't be a victim. It's so much more expensive to be a victim, guys. It costs so much more. It costs hundreds of times more to get yourself out of trouble than just to do the right things and stay out of trouble. So just do them and benefit from them for the rest of your life. So anyways, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. And again, if you got questions, get them to Shannon, but get your rear end in the chair because it's going to make all the difference in the world.
Great, and I just want to thank all my friends. I've seen a few different friends from New York and Nevada and Texas on here. All of you that are my friends, I'm just so grateful that you're here, and hopefully you'll come play in Hawaii or excuse me, not in Hawaii. That's another event, huh, Nick? Come play in Miami with us. We have a beautiful hotel. Nick has absolutely done everything first class, and you will be very impressed. So with that, have a wonderful night, and look forward to connecting with you in the future and seeing you the end of May. Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye for now.